the Spengler Cup, he told me that already over 50% of the tickets are sold in Vancouver. So this is a signal that I think going back now to West and the interest of the people there is different than it here. I think we were also unlucky last year with the World Cup having the baseball team being qualified for the playoffs. So yeah, I think the answer is here. I mean, with the result of the numbers of spectators we had in Toronto, Montreal, Toronto, and here, this is it. So actually we tried, but it shows us that in the future we should be a bit more careful, maybe go more west and east. I mean, you have such a big country. I mean, it's so, for you, in Switzerland we don't have some, I mean, you know, we don't have, I mean, we travel 2 hours and we are already at one of the border. So here you have such a big country in the United States and Canada. So you can really move in all the years you can have the World Championship. So we will discuss with you and with Hockey Canada. I mean, going to Vancouver, and then we go back to, in 21, I think we go back to Czech, and then we go back to Canada. And here's the question, well, Canada, where they will go. So they come maybe to Winnipeg or Saskatoon, or they speak about Edmonton and Calgary, I think. We will see. But it's the right question and the right answer. Yes. But still, having 200,000 spectators for a tournament like this, it's still a rather good success. So, and the weather was not really helping us and helping us. So we have not to be, just say the truth. It is like it is. Appeler un chat un chat.
Okay, right here in front. Ken, that was just a fun debate. Don't take any offense by it.
Rene, Mike Ashmore with the Trentonian. I just want to ask you, with the success of the outdoor game, could you foresee that being a regular part of future World Junior tournaments?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, in Vancouver it's more raining than snowing. So, you know, it's more difficult to play under rain than under snow.
Yeah.
And I was 30 times in Vancouver for the Olympic Games, I mean before the Olympic Games. And yeah, it's a place where it's raining a lot. So I don't know, I mean we will see with the organizer. We had a very good experience in our World Championship when we played in Germany. That was 2010.
Yeah.
And we had the outdoor game with
77,000.
Something like that, you know, in the soccer arena. So, but also here, you know, if you do that every year, then you lose maybe some interest. Here was very special, I think. It was very special because of the size of the arena, because of the weather, because of the snow, and the two teams, Canada, US. So in the beginning, both teams, they were, yeah, even the US team, the US coach said maybe not. The Canadians were a little bit afraid, but afterwards, I mean, having this experience with the shootout, this is the real, you can feel the game, how it was played many years ago. So I think you'll never forget that.
Yeah, no, that goes back to Amy, the first part there. You know, you just look at, you know, a year ago we started planning what if, you know, the people that live in Buffalo, if we're seeing what we're seeing out there now, we probably wouldn't have played the game. And all the way up until the day of at noon, the last weather report was 1 inch of snow. And that was, you know, talking to people from the weather service that run it. And we all know more than 1 inch of snow fell. And if Stan and his crew was not out there to shovel, we wouldn't have been able to play. But I think all that, you know, just played into the magic of the day. And when you have an outdoor game, you run that risk of uncontrollable weather. But fortunately, we were able to do it. So I think that comes into play as well.
We must say also in Vancouver, they've got a big building with a roof, and that was the same thing for Germany.
That's true.
Yeah.
Where we had the opening ceremony, they changed the roof.
Yeah,
they
did.
I think so. Huh?
Yeah, they did.
That would be interesting.
But you know, just to come back for the organization, that's why I never have a look to the weather report so many times during 3 days. And I should say that all around the stadium, there was an outstanding effort and work to make the ice almost perfect and for that game, and all the people's working around. That was really something. And for sure, we went to the end of the game. But you know, when you think about it, you have to play that game somewhere else. I'm happy that we didn't have to discuss about that.
I'm happy too.
All of us. All right, right here. Mike's coming forward. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Andrew Kulik, representing Art Voice, Buffalo weekly newspaper. My question, I know that Mr. Fisher was a little bit upset, taking umbrage about the attendance issues, but
Not that upset.
not that. Okay, that's great.
That was just for fun with Ken.
We, my thoughts, as I've attended almost all the matches here, and thinking about dynamic pricing. And I know that here in Toronto and Montreal, you folks have pretty much rolled out gold packages and then put single tickets on sale at the same price points. And I was thinking, watching Denmark and Slovakia with 1,500 of our best friends, that perhaps $5 tickets, $25 four-packs, and $1 hot dogs and soda pops might have brought families and people in on a cold day. And I'm looking at the Vancouver websites and Victoria and seeing that, again, you're doing the packages and the expensive tickets. Has any thought been given regarding marketing for dynamic pricing and offering the non-Canada and non-USA matches here in North America at cheaper price points moving forward to get more fans to come here to this amazing event?
Who wants to take that one, guys?
I mean, I can speak from, from the Buffalo standpoint. When we had this event back in 2011, we had packages sold prior to, and it's much like an NHL team that has season tickets sold prior to the season going on sale. You don't have to sell as many individual ones. We adjusted our packages back in May and offered 8 and 12 game packs, and then we did it again in September with I think 8 and 12 game packs, and then we did it again we did the medal rounds, we did individual ticketing. Go back a few years ago, we didn't do individual ticketing until a day or 2 or 3 before the games themselves. So we realized that ticket sales weren't as robust, but at the same time, the people who bought packages ahead of time, our pricing was significantly lower than last year in Toronto and Montreal. So those are some things you learn after you do the event, but obviously there's been a lot of talk about the tickets from the time the event started. But as Terry Pagula was here the other night, and I was talking with he and Russ, and the success of this tournament's not going to be based on ticket sales. And the success of this tournament is going to be based on the event that we put on and the play on the ice. It's about the players. And there's 2 more games this afternoon, and there's 2 important games tomorrow. The best 4 teams in the world are playing. And I think there's going to be some great memories created with those players that are on that ice later today and tomorrow.
You have a follow-up question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Okay, it's going. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, no disagreement.
Yeah, no,
it's been magnificent hockey
Yeah.
again. And I personally actually love this tournament, and it's a great deal of passion for it. Follow-up question to you, Mike. Speaking for the Buffalo Sabres and Pagula Sports and Entertainment, will Buffalo be a bidder for the next World Juniors that's coming to the United States?
Well, I think we first have to find out if the U.S. is going to get it back. I was, when we were talking a few minutes ago, I was going back to 2.5 years ago when I was dealing with Mike Birch, and there was, 10, 8 cities, 15 that applied, got it down to 5. They did I look at, we beat out some other NHL cities. This market beat out some other places that sometimes that doesn't happen. So I think the fact that we were awarded this, it was in November when you called me that day to say that we were getting it. I remember calling Russ. He was in New England for a Patriots game that night. I said, Russ, we got it. And we've been ecstatic ever since then. Terry's here again today. He's going to be at the games tomorrow. He couldn't be happier. So as an organization, I look at all these people over here that have turned this building around and this beautiful area we're in. So we have the event here. There's 6 or 8 cities that lost that don't have it. So when it comes around again, I have to speak with ownership, but I'm sure we'll be interested in trying to host it again.
And if I can just follow up on that, our partnership with the Sabres is obviously significant for this event. We've been here for other events. We have a great relationship with the NHL and all its member clubs, but it's special here in Buffalo. Just what they've done for our organization with these last 2 World Juniors, with our prospects games, with other things that we do with we've had the women's under 18 here, we've had all sorts of event here. So this is a great market, but we have great partners here in the Sabres to help get these things done.
You look at the sled championships we did, the world championships we did here because of Harper Center, and the women's event we also did here. So this isn't the end for us. Pretty much, tomorrow when this is over, we hope that there's more events. Our Buffalo Junior Sabres have applied for hosting some national championships for USA Hockey here. So this isn't over, this is just beginning for us.
Speaking of the Under-18 Women's World Championship, that begins Saturday in Russia and runs for a week, right on the docket after this one. Any further questions? Yeah, in the back there. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, one for Rene. Rene, I think that it was said the other day that there would be sanctions if the KHL didn't release their players for the Olympics. And forgive me if this is if I don't understand, but why would the KHL be held to a different standard than the NHL, who's not releasing their players?
First of all, to answer your question, speaking about fans, I think I would like to really thank the fans being here. We always speak about the fans not being here, but we have to thank the fans coming and taking the road from Canada and then around Buffalo to come to the games here, so a special thanks to them. To answer your question, I think, the KHL is a member of the Russian Ice Hockey Federation. As a member of the Russian Ice Hockey Federation, they are also our member and they have to follow our statutes and bylaws. And it is quite clear that the Olympic period is a part of a national team breaks. And every nation has an obligation, and every league has an obligation that during a period of national team break, they have to release the players. They are asked from the different member national associations. So here, I think the Russian tried to put some pressure on the IOC to show if there is a problem, the Russian team not being allowed to participate in the games, that they will play the league games and not release the players playing with different national teams. So I think there were some people speaking about that, but I was traveling many times, many days to Russia, having discussion with the people there, and it was never really officially done to me that they say we will not release the players. So I don't think that will happen. Actually, this suspension of the Russian delegation going to Pyeongchang, it was for ice hockey, was not an easy one. The men's team was not involved in that doping systematic doping. The women, yes. So they were punishing actually the men's team, and believe me, it was very difficult for the Russian to accept not playing with the flag and not playing with the official uniform. And it's the first time actually the IOC is taking a decision against a team. Before it was more individual athletes. In the history of the Olympics, it's the first time a team is concerned. And this is a hockey team. I mean, it's a team sport where in the Winter Olympics, it's actually the only team sport if we put aside a little bit curling. And I tell you very honestly, it was not easy to really make them accept this decision, no flag, no uniform. And today I just had the confirmation about the uniform of the Russian team. They could use only 2 colors, nothing to do with different color than the Russian flag. So a very, very difficult situation to overcome and to find a way to bring these 2 hockey teams, women's and men, to Pyeongchang. It's not over yet. We're still waiting some different point, but I'm happy we could make this decision together with the Russian Ice Hockey Association that they will come to Pyeongchang. That means the KHL will not play. That means that the players will be released. So it's no more a question about not releasing the players to go to the Olympics. And in the future also, they have to respect the national team race. Is that the answer of your question?
I think so.
Because I was a bit long. But believe me, in the last 3-4 weeks, not easy. Not easy. You can imagine, I mean, the NHL not coming, and then suddenly the KHL, the Russian team not coming, the KHL not giving the players. So we would have a very interesting Olympics in Pyeongchang with the situation like this. So I don't know what the future will tell, but not easy.
All right, Ryan?
Question for
Could you
either
identify
Rene
yourself, please, sir?
or Luke.
Just identify yourself, sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, Ryan Kennedy from the Hockey News. Question for either Rene or Luke. For